Hey friends, welcome to another episode of Andy's Audio Crap, where I talk about audio crap, usually turntables and amps, but occasionally other stuff, discs, cassette decks, that kind of stuff. It's audio crap. Speakers too. Alright, it's a equal opportunity audio crap channel. Alright, enough of that. Today we're going to compare an Ion ILP, pretty cheap, an Audio-Technica LP60 Bluetooth, which is kind of a medium tier, a Sony, let's see here, I think it's LX310BT, so Bluetooth, nicer, and then a Kenwood KD-2000. This one is vintage. These are all new, and it'll be interesting to see how they all compare. Alright, so now it's time to like and subscribe. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for liking and subscribing. Alright, enjoy the show. Up first is the Ion ILP, and everything is going to get played on this Technics. It's an SA5470. They go for about $300 to $400. If you really like the sound of this, I encourage you to go out and get one. Price will probably go up on these over the next couple of years as people find out how massively big they are. Look how big this thing is. It has a huge presence. It sounds very good, and they're very reliable. So, well, that's my experience so far. It could be different. Anyways, the Ion ILP is really kind of your over-the-counter, if you will, run-of-the-mill Ion, and I just, for the heck of it, looked up to see how much you could pick one of these up for. There's one for like 20 bucks, 20 shipping, another 20, another 20, and so on. You get the point. You can pick one up for about 40 bucks. Not very many features on this. It has an old school iPod dock. I don't know if any of the newer ones actually have the newer iPod dock or iPhone dock. Really, it's meant to transfer records to your iPod, and I think there's actually a USB as well, so we'll take a look at the back here. Yeah, there is a USB. There's a power on off. The only out you have is amplified out. You do not have preamp out. And when we look at the features of the inside here, very small plate and very thin plastic, and let's see here, what else, and then your speeds and size on off. You do not, it looks like you can adjust your weight, but you really can't. It's kind of comical how it looks like you can, but I've played with this and it doesn't affect the actual weight. Maybe mine's defective, I don't know. And then notice too that this one sets crooked. I don't know if you can see that. It's got a little bit of looseness to it there. So definitely getting what you pay for here. The first test we're going to do out of the gate here is turn it on. Let's find that on switch. Okay, let's make sure that she kicks on. Oh, power. Power is a good thing if we're going to be doing testing. All right, now let's try it out. There she goes. All right, we have it on 33, auto stop on off. So it does have auto stop, where when it reaches the center, it's going to just kill the tone arm. Oh, one handy thing about this one though that I really do appreciate is the 45 puck has a home, so you won't lose it. So I imagine that a lot of these will always have that puck, because I don't know too many people who play 45s. All right, so first off, let's do a test on the speed. It's supposed to be going 33. It is running fast. I don't know if you can see that on the video there, but this is the line you're going after, is the 1 2/3 out. She's running a little on the fast side here, so nothing you can really do about that either. You just get to deal with it with this type of turntable, unless I'm missing something. It is belt driven, by the way. So if you know that you can actually change the speed on these, put that in the comments. I don't think that you can, but I've been totally wrong in the past. All right, what we're gonna do is we're going to turn on main. We're gonna give it a volume of, let's say, 3, and let's give this thing a listen. All right, that might be a little bit loud. I will comment that the separation in the stereo is absolutely impeccable. The sound for this record, as you'll hear over the next couple of turntables, it's okay. I mean, there's nothing really to complain about. If you're new to records and you're looking for a really cheap player, I kind of like these. I recommend them to folks when they're looking for a really cheap player, because there's a lot of them out there and they're really cheap. So that is the Ion ILP. All right, up next we have the Audio-Technica. Again, this is the at-lp60-bt, meaning Bluetooth. You have pretty much run-of-the-mill player here. And just for reference here real quick, we've moved up in price. Now I'm looking at pre-owns on eBay, and you can pick one up right now for 104 plus 26 shipping, which it's debatable on whether or not you should pay this much for one of these, but in my opinion, you can probably hold out for one for about $100. I don't remember how much I picked this one up for, but it was less than $100. So anyways, the features on this one are pretty much standard run-of-the-mill. As far as your fully automatic player, you have your start and stop. The start starts the mechanism to bring the needle over, start the plate, and then once you hit the stop, it lifts the needle, puts it over in rest, and stops the plate. Great, awesome, basic features. The up and down here, raise and lower the tone arm. As on the Ion, it had a little lever right here. It does play 3345 as well. Now on the back side, we have a really cool option that they put on here, which was the analog out is actually a plug, so you don't have to have ugly plugs sticking out of your player when you are using the Bluetooth to connect to your stereo. Now, or your headset, whatever it is that you're streaming to via Bluetooth. The downside is I will put 20 bucks on. Half the time people lose this, and when you look them up online, they usually are missing this if they're used. Line out is amp, and phono allows you to go pure direct from the stylus to the cartridge directly to the amp. The line is going to run it through an amplifier in here. Now that's the way we're gonna run it here. All right, we have this dude. I'm gonna run over here real quick and get that record. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna hit start, and we're gonna give this thing the beans here. Sound. The stylus on this one, actually this player was a refurbished, I'm fairly certain. I think it said that on the box, that or it was an Amazon return, one of the two, but Anyways, the stylus, when I looked at it, looked new, so I'm under the assumption that it's new. It sounds really good. It sounds really good for a entry-level player. Does it sound better than the Ion? I don't know. Could you tell a difference? I couldn't. It was very close. In fact, I'd go so far as to say this one was a little hissy compared to the Ion, and that's one of the problems you're going to run into with these lower end plastic players, is that they're gonna resonate and they're kind of have a drone sound to them that if your ears are sharp and your amp is good, you're gonna hear it. And it's just the resonation that comes from low weight, low dampering, just the way it is. But value for money for what's brand new on the market today, and what's plentiful, like these tons of these out there, is really good. And they do run sales occasionally throughout the year, especially in Christmas time, and good deal. All right, breaking in here. Sorry, forgot to do the speed test on this one, and I don't know if you can see it. 1, 2, 3 in from the center. It's running a little bit slow, just a tad bit slow. Okay, back to the other. Next up, we have the Sony. This is the PS-LX310BT for Bluetooth. The puck does not have a home, and I forgot to mention that on the Audio-Technica. It does have a little spot up here for it to rest, but still it's going to get away from you. I really liked the design of the Ion, how it had kind of a clip down, and that's just slick. So all right, you have your up down start stop, you have stereo, size of the record, pretty much your basic run-of-the-mill stuff. It operates just like the Audio-Technica, where the start kicks it over, goes to play, and then the stop kicks it back. Has an auto return just like the Audio-Technica. Cool thing about this though is, first of all, the power is separate. It's not built into the bass. That's some people say that makes for better sound because the transformer's not sitting in here buzzing. Could be, could not be, maybe, I don't know. Again, you're dealing with a pretty lightweight frame here, not a lot of heft here. It does have line out, phono out, just like the Audio-Technica. So if I just wanted to run straight from the stylus to the cartridge to the amp, I just hit phono, and otherwise I use line out, which is an amp. It has a gain select for low, mid, high, low, medium, high, and I just leave it in the mid. I don't like the low, and I definitely don't like the high. So the on-off standby is just your power switch. If you have it on all the time, it's actually not sucking any power. The Audio-Technica is the same way, and so is the Ion. They actually have a little switch that when the plate starts turning is when it starts consuming power. The cartridge doesn't consume power, by the way, if you didn't know that already. Okay, so we're gonna listen to this dude. Really, oh, one of the other cool features about this one and the Ion is the Bluetooth out. Not Bluetooth, gosh darn it, I'm sorry, the USB out. So if you have a USB cord, you can run it to your PC and do recording that way if you want. Really cool feature, and very handy if you're trying to transfer over to MP3 files, and you can download any assortment of MP3 transfer programs. All right, so let me go in here and try and find my power plug. Good job, there we go. Way to be, champ. All right, so now we are going to play this. I think I won't show you the eBay this time, but these dudes are running on eBay for about $150 to $200. So again, you're going up in the price range. This one was a Amazon return. I'm fairly certain I got it from a reseller, and it has a crack up here. that's it. Outside of that, this is pretty much spot on. She sounds really good too. So let's go into that portion. And instead of doing the start, I'm gonna drop it right in the middle of the record. That took forever last time. Uh-oh, we're running hot. No, it says 33. We're good. All right, let's go here. The sound coming out of this is like much better than the sound that was coming out of the Audio-Technica and the ILP. I like this one better than I like both of those. I've been playing with it for about a week now. I listed it on I listed it bundled with a stereo and a set of speakers, and it sold immediately on what is it, Facebook Marketplace. So yeah, I had it long enough to make a video. I would have liked to have had it just a little bit longer, but you never know how long it's going to take to sell them, so I listed it. And that's the end of that story. Oh, we need to test the speed. Here, let's get the record off of here. This poor record. It's been my test record for at least a year now, and it just gets tossed around all over the place. Okay, here we go. It is running just a hair fast. About a hair fast, as the Audio-Technica is running a hair slow. Now this one might actually have an adjustment in it. It looks like, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. It might. I'll put the text on the screen if it does have an adjustment. This is the same with the Audio-Technica. All right, we shall roll to the next one. This handsome brute here is the Kenwood. This is our last one we're gonna do. It is the model KD-2000 now out on eBay. There are a couple of these listed right now. There aren't any that have sold in the last 90 days. I didn't research any further back than that. And the ones that are listed right now are only going for about 150 bucks. Now, every last one of them is a repair though. And I have a video that is out there on how to service one of these. So I imagine with them moving as slow as they do on eBay, somebody is bound and willing probably to take 100 bucks if you find one you like. I love this thing. It is like simplicity at its best. It is not fully automatic. It is semi-automatic. So it only has an automatic return, so there is no play button and it'll just set it on the record. It's when it gets to the center of the record, it'll click over and return itself. The mechanism in here is really smart. It is not belt driven, or it is not gear driven, the mechanism. So on the Sony and the Audio-Technica, it is gear driven, so there's going to be a cog in here that's going to spin and activate the tone arm. This one is in really good shape. I just love this thing. There's nothing on the back to show you. It's just an out and a power cord. That's it. And then the amplification has to happen in here. So you have to have a turntable that has, or I'm sorry, not a turntable. You have to have an amplifier that has a phono input. You can run something like one of these Pile preamps. I like the Little Bear tube amps. Given one of those away on this channel before. So the key feature on why you would want one of these is this here. This is a head shell, and here's your cartridge, and there's your stylus. Every one of those changes the sound. So the head shell, you can change the weight, which changes how quickly it will move. You can get ultra lightweight ones. And you can also adjust the weight that's down on the needle. So every stylus has a different weight rating, and so you can't do that on the other two. As well, it's got bearing for its pivot, and it's just like, it is just smooth as silk. I mean, it doesn't even feel like there's any weight in my hand when I'm moving it. The the anti-skate is really cool. It's a little weight that hangs here that looks pretty cool. Anti-skate is something that the other two don't have as well, so that guarantees that if I drop the needle here on a smooth surface, that needle would stay there and it wouldn't drift in or drift out. Needles have a tendency to drift. So let's go ahead and test first the speed. This does not have a speed adjustment at all, so it is very important that you have the right belt size. So let's just kick it on. It is running perfect. That's because I just maintenanced it. So it should be running perfect. Let's just dump 2 hours into it. It better be running perfect. Okay, let's grab our record, turn on speakers, and test them. Nothing going on there. Maybe? Let's go. Oof, there is sound. Okay, sounds great, right? That is only tip of the iceberg. So what we can do now, look how this is, waha, smooth. I love this thing. It's not that I don't like the other two, it's just that I do enjoy turntables and the mechanical actions that they do. It's just fun to watch them. You know, that's kind of the whole thing of doing records, is that there's ceremony. All right, so we weighed this one in, and if you need to know how to weigh them in, I put 2.5 grams on it. This is a Grotto gold cartridge, and it will sound different. So let's go ahead and play it. Okay, so that one, you can hear a lot more fuzz going on. That is the different type of stylus. So let's put that one down here, and here is my favorite. I love Shure M series. I have an M55 that I run on my turntables in my other rooms. I've decided that M55 is my favorite. I have Grace cartridges. I have the top end Audio-Technicas. I just like the simple Shure cartridge. It's just, I don't know, it's simple. It makes me happy. It has a happy sound to it. All right, come on, buddy. There we go. Okay, so zero it out, run it into 2.5. All right, let's go. Of those. All right, I don't know if you can hear that on your audio on your end, but there's big difference in sound between these three the players themselves, and then additionally the cartridges that I just tried out on this one here. This is a generic Audio-Technica cartridge. This is the same cartridge that is in the other two players. So let's play it on here. So just to, this is just like a cheap, I think you can pick these up for like 20 bucks with the Audio-Technica stylus in it. So let's go for it here. Let's first weigh it out. All right, a little bit further back. All right, there we go. And zero it out, and then come into 2.5. All right, perfect. All right, here we go. Yep. So hopefully you heard those all close enough to where you can conclude what I'm going to suggest is that this sound out of this cartridge is fairly flat. It's really neutral, whereas this one is it's done the Shure is really like bright. It is just a wonderful cartridge. All right, we'll go into the rest of these. I could digress. I could talk about this all day. I'm done. So if I was to recommend one of these 4 players, I would recommend this one, but you're going to have to know how to work on them. So learn how to work on them. If you don't know how to work on them, find somebody locally that can. People that work on them are pretty rare, but they're out there. If you don't get this one, please get the Sony. The Audio-Technica is just fine. I have nothing against Audio-Technica. I just like the build quality of the Sony better. And then stay away from the Ion. But if you're getting into vinyl for the first time and you're looking for a cheap entry, Ion's perfect. But don't use it too long, because the first time you hear a really good record player, you're going to flip out. So maybe it's good that you use it too long. All right. With that, I'm going to conclude. Like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.